Saros was the big reveal at PlayStation's most recent State of Play, and today we'll discuss what we can expect and when we can expect Housemarque's new IP. Let's get after it. So to start, if you're not familiar with Housemarque, they are a PlayStation first-party studio, and to be honest, they've kind of crushed it with this generation. You know, they gave us Returnal, which is one of the few true PS5 exclusives, and one of the most underrated PS5 games in my opinion. Now we have Saros to look forward to in 2026. Now that is a pretty broad launch window, but at least we have one coming out of the State of Play. But according to Housemarque's website and their creative director Gregory Loudon, Saros is the ultimate evolution of the Housemarque gameplay first experience. After Returnal, we knew we had created something special and award-winning, but we also knew we wanted Returnal to stand on its own. With this in mind, we decided to create a new IP, which involves our deep third-person action and mysterious storytelling. He goes on to say, Saros is an action game with the haunting story of a lost off-world colony on Carcosa under an ominous eclipse. You play as Arshun Devraj, a powerful Soltari enforcer who will stop at nothing to find who he is looking for. And our goal is to create an emotional and powerful character study that explores the cost it takes to create a new future. The Housemarque creative director continues to write, Arjun is performed by Rahul Kohli. Rahul is truly bringing Arjun to life in a stunning performance. He has been a brilliant collaborator to tell our story and champion for the game. He is also not alone on Carcosa, and we will reveal more of our fantastic ensemble, NPC cast, and story information ahead. Now, the creative director does go on to tell us a little bit more about the differences between Returnal and Saros, because it's not simply Returnal 2. He wanted Returnal to stand on its own, and with that in mind, they wanted to do a completely new IP. A key gameplay distinction between Saros and Returnal is permanent resources and progression, making every death valuable. After every death, you will face a changed world, but in Saros you will be able to choose and permanently upgrade your loadout from an evolving set of weapons and suit parts to quote-unquote come back stronger to overcome the challenges you face on Carcosa. And I know that was one of the biggest complaints about Returnal, because it didn't have that traditional roguelike element where truly every run made you stronger, or you were able to take something back from every run. And you know, some of the newcomers to roguelites found that to be incredibly challenging with Returnal, but it sounds like Housemarque is taking that feedback from players and not making that a part of the gameplay loop with Saros, because you know, truly every single run in Saros, apparently you're going to get stronger each run. So that's going to make it appeal to a broader audience, and I think it'll sell better because of that as well. He closes out the statement by saying, we cannot wait to share more about our gameplay, art, audio, music, technology, story, how we push the PS5 hardware, and more from everyone working on Saros. This is a dream project made by a dream team. Thanks for reading. So one of the things that I loved about Returnal so much that I'm looking forward to in Saros is that it truly took advantage of the technology that it had with the PS5, not only with the visuals, but also with the haptic triggers and feedback from the PlayStation 5 controller. And it's one of the few games that's actually doing that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Saros is going to give us. Now that I've done a little bit of research on the game, the title of it makes a ton of sense, because apparently a Saros cycle is something used in astrology. It's a pattern between the Earth and the Moon used to predict eclipses. Apparently it's 6,585.3 days. And it's used, you know, it was something that was found out over 2,000 years ago that's used to predict eclipses. So I'm curious how they're going to use that timeline in the gameplay loop. So I think this is going to be super interesting. So far, I mean, it's already one of my most anticipated games in 2026. I'm really looking forward to this based on everything I know about this trailer, but also everything I know about Returnal and Housemarque. So I think we have a lot to look forward to here. Now it's time for our featured community comment from our last video from Dan Yellow the Man, who said, if Gears of War comes out on PS5, I am nabbing that up. I never finished the series, but I played 1 and 2 with my stepbrother, and I absolutely loved it. It's a series I always wanted to accomplish, but for one reason or another, just never was able to get to it. I agree with you. I was a lot more into Forza than Gran Turismo. I prefer the Gran Turismo soundtracks, but Forza was just a lot easier for me to get into. And you know what, Daniello, the man, I completely agree with you. I cannot wait for Forza to come out this spring. I'm going to be buying that. I'm going to try to get that sweet platinum trophy on the PS5. Forza was a little bit easier to get into with me because it wasn't as hardcore as the Gran Turismo racing simulator style. I'm more of an arcadey racer, if you ask me. But same thing with the other Xbox games coming to PS5. I'm really looking forward to enjoying those on PS5, just like I did back in the day on Xbox. Hopefully we'll be getting some news on those pretty soon. Now, if you want to be the next featured community comment, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment below, and we'll be sure to discuss that in the next video. But there you have it, folks. Saros is the new IP from Housemarque. It's not Returnal 2, and it is in 2026. It would have been great to get a 2025 release date, since, you know, the PS5 2025 lineup is a little bit lean, but you know what, this game still looks great. It looks awesome. I love Housemarque, I love Returnal, and everything that I've seen so far is getting me pretty excited. But if you made it this far, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll be back at least weekly, providing you with other gaming content that's relevant to you in your world. So if you enjoyed it, consider liking, subscribing, hitting that notification bell, you know, whatever the kids do these days. It really does help the channel grow and keep me excited and motivated to continue making this kind of content outside of my full-time job. And you know, that's what this channel is all about, is doing what we love outside of our 9-to-5 jobs. So watch the recommended video, because you know the algorithm thinks you should. And until next time, I'll see you 5 to 9.